Please. Please. Please, I can't breathe.
With every passing second, George Floyd's life was slipping away. This 10-minute video is difficult to watch, yet impossible to ignore. Now, crucial testimony bearing witness to an ugly reality.
Mama!
Get up and get in the car right.
Face down on the pavement, crying out for his mother, a police officer's knee to his neck.
My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. There's some water or something. Please. Please. I can't breathe, officer.
A bystander's cell phone recording Floyd's pleas for precious breath.
They gonna kill me, man.
Capturing those prescient words for those excruciating minutes.
Bro, with your feet on his neck, man, you get off the
His nose is bleeding, like, come on.
This, the second video of a black man dying to emerge in less than a month.
Seeing Ahmaud Arbery killed by citizens while he's jogging. Watching George Floyd be killed unarmed by police. All of these incidents back to back.
Please don't tell me that he's gone.
To back.
From Eric Garner to Ahmaud Arbery, all part of a seemingly endless stream of footage, revealing the violence so many have experienced, challenging the police version of events.
Don't pull it out.
Some, like this of Philando Castile, posted in real time on social media.
And the officer just shot him.
Offering a narrative of lives cut short, igniting calls for racial justice.
It's wrong, period. It's wrong.
Floyd's sister Bridget left in disbelief.
I don't understand how someone could possibly let an individual go out like that.
There's a state of emergency in Black America. The pandemic that existed long before the coronavirus of racism and discrimination that often leads to the unjustifiable and unnecessary killings of people of color in America.
Outrage from the graphic video of Floyd dying spilling onto America's streets, from Houston to Chicago and Minneapolis. Where police in riot gear fired what appeared to be tear gas. This, the latest salvo in the country's reckoning on race.
Video is an indispensable part of our struggle to get justice in these cases. Without video, we're not talking about Ahmaud Arbery, we're not talking about George Floyd. Video is our evidence. Video is our proof.
Remembered by his friends as a loving father and a gentle giant.
The world gonna remember his name. The world gonna remember George Floyd. He wasn't supposed to go out like that.
Floyd, seen here in a 1992 high school football game, scoring a touchdown.
He was way better than me in football.
For former NBA player Steven Jackson, the loss of his 46-year-old friend is like losing family.
Floyd was my brother. My boy was doing what he's supposed to do, man. Y'all go and kill my brother, man.
We're real close. Ever since the teenagers, just being in the streets, growing up together.
Both Jackson and Floyd were star athletes growing up in Texas.
We have the same talent, we have the same dreams. We grew up in the same type of areas. I just had more opportunity.
In adulthood, Floyd ran into trouble. In 2007, he was charged with armed robbery. In 2009, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison as part of a plea deal.
He'd been through a lot of stuff in his life. He was going to Minnesota and start over and get a new start.
When you hear him calling out for his mama, saying he can't breathe, repeatedly, how does that hit you?
Makes me so angry because Floyd is one of the strongest people you know. And to hear that scream and that cry for help in his voice, and he crying out for help, and it's just wrong, man. It's just wrong.
Alvin Menego was Floyd's roommate. Menego recalled a time when Floyd told him about being pulled over for driving with an expired license plate.
The officer asked him to step out. He said, I know they get intimidated by my sight, so I stepped back a little bit so he won't feel uncomfortable. And told him, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of this. And the officer gave him a pass.
And tonight, new surveillance video seeming to contradict a police account showing the moments before Floyd is restrained by officers. In the video, police approach Floyd's SUV, handcuff him and take him to the sidewalk. Then, Floyd and the officers walk across the street where that fateful video was recorded.
The fundamental issue here is when he's on the ground and handcuffed, at that point in time, are they using excessive force, not before that.
Police say they were responding to a forgery in progress. The video starkly differs from a statement issued Monday night by Minneapolis police, saying in part that Floyd had physically resisted officers and that he appeared to be suffering medical distress.
Usually deadly force is allowed when that individual is resisting or they've committed or about to commit a violent felony. For George Floyd, he did neither.
Minutes later, the fire department was called for a patient with trauma to his mouth. By the time crew members got into the ambulance with Floyd, they found an unresponsive, pulseless man. Floyd was declared dead at a local hospital. The 4 officers involved in the incident have been fired. The city today releasing the disgraced officers' names: Derek Chauvin, Thomas Lane, To Tao, and J. Alexander Kong. Chauvin is the officer with his knee on Floyd. Tao is the officer standing. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey calling for him to be charged with a crime.
If you had done it, or I had done it, we would be behind bars right now.
And I look forward to asking the jury just to watch the stopwatch for 9 minutes in silence and think about not being able to have sustained breath for those 9 minutes. How is that not murder?
It was just 6 years ago when those words, a plea for mercy from Eric Garner on the streets of New York, turned into a rallying cry. But for Gwen Carr, they're the last words she'll ever hear from her son, whose 2014 death at the hands of an NYPD officer echoed those 3 words across the country.
When you see this scene of George Floyd going through what he went through, what popped into your mind?
It just brought back horrible memories of the day that I found out that my son Eric was murdered. I can feel their pain. I know what they're going through.
You said you can't bring yourself to watch the video of George Floyd.
No, I can't.
And yet it's the video that has opened a lot of other people's eyes.
Yes. 11 times he's repeated, "I can't breathe." But the disconcerted officers, they paid no attention to his cries. They continued murdering him. And this is just like the sentiments of this young man who was killed the other day. The man was trying to only breathe.
To suddenly lose a child.
Now an outspoken activist to bring justice for so many who aren't being heard.
I don't want any other mother to suffer like I've suffered.
A makeshift memorial now growing on the street where George Floyd took his last breath. For those who loved Floyd the most, like his sister Bridget, the loss numbing and the fear now haunting that the same violence could one day take her own sons.
You never know what could happen when they walk out the door. They need to know how to defend themselves, how to stand up for themselves, how to talk for themselves. Because if I don't teach that to them, this world, this cold, cold world would take over my babies.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.